everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio. Happy spring. Today is the day that I am giving you a speed up version of the Art Joy of Sharing live stream show from 4/11/2019. The theme for this show was Is It Spring Yet? Because people are still struggling with snow and rain, and here in Arizona it's nice and springy. So I decided to do an art journal page today that is featuring some honeybees. But before I get to the bee part, I have to do some integration. This is my gel print journal, homemade journal. I made a bunch of two-sided gel prints on cardstock way back, I don't know, a while ago when there was a 30-day gel printing challenge. And then I sewed them into a book, and I will put here in the iCard and also at the end or underneath the video the link to where I sewed this together so you can figure out how it works. But I started out my integration of the two pages. It's going to be a two-page spread. I tried to match pages up that had similar colors, and sometimes that worked out really well. Sometimes it didn't work out as well. This one's pretty good, except for one side. The left side's a lot lighter than the right side, and the right side also has some teal turquoise type colors on it that the left side didn't. So the first thing that I did for integration is to kind of glue down some scraps of paper that I had of different other gel prints. And then the next step to integration is to do some stenciling. I'm using a honeycomb stencil and then a stencil that has kind of some random patterns on it. And I'm using colors that are similar on both sides, making sure that they both have the same types of colors and patterns on both sides. And that really helps to make it look like it's a whole art journal spread, not two individual pages that are very different. By the end of this, you won't really even realize that the gel prints were that much different that I started out with. It's really fun to start out with gel prints as an art journal page because you've already got color and pattern on there as a first layer before you even start, and you don't get that deer in the headlights look like, oh my gosh, look at this white page, what am I going to do? So I do love working over the top of gel prints when I'm art journaling, and so that's the reason that I made this book. I already have another art journal that I've completely finished that was all gel prints as well. I think it's a great way to work. So I used a couple more stencils. A couple of them were from Crafter's Workshop, the honeycomb one, and this one with the kind of branchy vine patterns is from Stencil Girl Club. It's a club stencil. So I have links to all the products and stencils and paints and colors and everything that I used in the description box below the video. And when you click on those, they mostly take you to Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, and when you use my links, I get a few cents from Amazon affiliate program to pay for more art supplies that I can show on my channel. So it's a good way to help me out. So the story behind this page, in my front yard, I have a big hydrangea. No, not hydrangea. Hibiscus? No, that's not right either. Oleander. I don't know why I can't remember what it is. It's an oleander bush, and it's one that has pink flowers on it. It's tall. It's probably 8 feet tall. It's probably as much around, and it's just in the front of my house. And 3 days ago, this bee swarm arrived in my front yard, and it happened right as we were coming home. And there was just a whole bunch of bees just flying around and around in a circle in the front yard. And then they settled on a branch of this bush, and it became a bee ball, literally probably as big as a basketball. So it's a bee ball, but made out of bees. And I was baffled by that, and so I looked on the internet, and it said that when a hive gets so big and they have more than one queen, one of the queens will take off with a few of the workerish bees, and then a huge bunch of the drone bees, and they will fly off to find a new home, and that's called a swarm. So what they do is they feed a lot so that they have a lot of energy, and then they follow the queen, and they go looking for, you know, a hollow branch or, a hollow tree or something, or a hollow cactus in our case, or just someplace that they can set up a new hive. And when they get tired, they have to rest, and they will rest for a while. And some of the scouts will go scout around as much as a mile away looking for a suitable home. And once they find one, they'll leave. So, right now, for day 3, they are resting in my front yard. They're not bothering anybody. They're just a big bee ball, and the queen is in the middle somewhere, and all the rest of them are just piled around her, and they're sitting on a branch in that bush, and it's pretty fascinating. I do hope that they will move on, because I don't want them to set up camp in my front yard. If that did happen, I would need to get a beekeeper type person to come and safely take them away. Please do not spray honeybees and kill them. Just have someone humanely remove them if this happens to you, because they are the pollinators of all our crops. And if we don't pollinate, we're not going to have any food. If all the bees die, we die. So I definitely will not be spraying them or hiring an exterminator to come kill them or whatever. But I could have to get someone to come and take them, a beekeeper type person to take them and put them in a box so that they have a little home in which to grow honey. That might happen. I don't know. I'm still giving them some time because they're not bothering anybody. So that's basically the scene I'm making here. I've got those stenciled branches, and then I put some collaged pink flowers. My oleander does have pink flowers. I know that a lot of times they come with white flowers, but mine's actually pink for some reason. And some collage leaves, and then the bees I drew on some tea-dyed music paper, and then I collaged them a little bit. The two that I've already glued down, I did before the show because I wasn't sure how much time I'd have to finish. My whole page in an hour and a half is a lot when you're doing a collage. But I did finish the whole thing, so I was very happy that I got it all done. So this is my third little bee that I've drawn, and now I'm collaging that one with some scraps. I keep all my colorful paper scraps, and I sort them into these plastic boxes that small cinnamon rolls come in, and I sort them by color so I can just grab them and use them for little projects like this. That's how that's what I do with my endless amounts of scraps. So I'm using them to do my third bee, and then the final thing that I did was to use a Pitt Artist brush pen, which is an India ink pen, and make some shadows in a teal color around the bees. I didn't do all the flowers and everything. I'm tempted to do that, but I decided I really wanted the bees to stand out from the background, and everything could kind of fade into the bees were the important part. So I shadowed them, added some black pen marks around them in places where I had covered up the drawing with collage. And then the very last thing I did was to write "Be Happy" on the page, because, be happy. They're bees. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below. I'll be sure to answer you within a couple days, if not immediately. And subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notification bells so that you know when a fresh new video comes out. And yeah, share this or pin it on Pinterest if you think it's interesting. These things all help my channel grow by helping other people who may not have found my channel yet find me. So that's always what I am grateful for when you guys do it. So I got out a wider pin, this big fat pin, and then I did some detailing on the letters with a smaller pin. So I hope you've enjoyed it. That's it for me. Thanks. Bye-bye.